What's up, beautiful people? I'm Nathaniel Pearl,
And I'm Sammy Sheva.
and welcome to Curious Chimps Podcast, a show where we explore the infinite complexities of the human experience.
We do not endorse anything illegal, so please consult doctors, do your research, and for the love of all that is holy, be safe. All right, let's talk about drugs.
Curious Chimps.
Did you like me mimicking the sounds? Is that why you're laughing?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go. What's up, Drew?
What's up, brothers? How are you?
Excellent.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're loving COVID. How are you, man?
Good to see you guys again.
Absolutely, and welcome,
Thanks
Renato.
Thanks for having me back on and having my brother Renato on. This is going to be a good conversation, I know.
Yeah,
He's got a lot to share, so.
Yeah, we're excited to meet him.
Yeah, let's just dive in. Is he there? Is he dead? Is he just being polite?
It might be the connection in Mexico.
Okay, guys. You try to speak in a way I can answer you. You know, so speak fast, I speak slow, or something like that.
It's all good.
We'll just take a breath. We'll talk, then we'll take a breath, and then we'll wait for you to come in. Or we could say over. You know, like
Yeah, right. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Let's get in, man. Well, just tell us about yourself. Take over the show, man. Just get in on the. Introduce yourselves, please. Your relationship, what you guys are all about. Like, just spread the love.
Cool. Renato, you want to start out?
Oh, yeah. Why not? Thank you. So, first of all, thank you so much, guys, for inviting me to be here and have the opportunity to share with you and have a friendly conversation here, friendly talk about some eating. I'm Renato Guerrero. I'm from Chile. I born there, and I've been in this magical journey my entire life.
Wow.
In this and another more. I'm having fun in this beautiful planet for a really long time. Enjoy every moment I can and try to learn and give everything I can in any moment in the simplest possible way. So right now, what am I doing? I'm working in therapist, doing therapy for people. I'm an empowerment coach. So I help people to believe in their self, find, that self-love, and bring some tools for people to really to understand their self in the best way so they can really find their own purpose to their self or more people also too. That's basically what I'm love to do, to take people, to encourage that people and to be the best version of themselves.
Nice.
And for that, I do, like I tell coach, therapies, I'm a medicine man working with sacred plants for many, many years ago. I have the honor to carry on the grandfather Watuma for several years. I'm from Chile, so I've been in the Andes for almost my entire life. Where these plants come from, it's cactus. So I work with different sacred plants too. And it's a really, it's a big challenge, Pat. It's not that easy, like sounds, okay, let's take some mushrooms and let's do this shit or something like that. Let's have some fun, guys, and let's go to the mountain. and, step by step, things change in my life to understand deeper, the connection exists in these plants and the big purpose they have for humanity and for everything exists here. And so I start to treat there with a more respectful way, more like a friend, more like with that kind of deeper connection. So I start to carry on these sacred plants like part of my journey, in a deep way. So I've been doing ceremonies in different places around the world, Europe, in America specific more, doing retreats for people too, to whatever, receive the healing they need, receive, the conscious, whatever they need to receive. In this path, I meet Drew in Florida, like 4 or 5 years ago, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, somewhere. I don't know. I just got
I
lost.
don't remember. Yeah.
It's lifetimes ago now.
Yeah. It's not about many times.
You guys meet in a ceremony?
It's not about time. It's more about the perception of the reality we're living, really, because we don't just been in this existence, in this life. We've been sharing for really many journeys. So in different bodies or whatever you want to, But yeah, I'm honored to find my partner here again, or he find me, or whatever. We just meet. The universe, create this meeting for us, and we share with first Wachuma ceremony in Florida.
Wow.
At night with alligators around and an army of mosquitoes, big fire.
Sounds like a good time.
Good experience. Cool. Yeah. So I've been, meet Ella too, and Drew's partner, and we, been sharing, sometimes about whatever the life, like friends, literally, we were learning together, growing together, and in that moment, when I meet Drew, he, he's in that, he asked me, I want to learn more about this. I want to go deeper. I really want to. I want to take this like my path in a more personal way. I want to learn more about this, and I want to help people too, because I know this helped me a lot. We've been talking about that, and for me, when somebody asks me kind of things like that, I take it in a really serious way, and sometimes a little bit more hard to the. Usually another master can tell you, I love you and all that things. I love you too, but I try to be more straight, in the way, because I know my friend, he asked me to learn more fast. Okay. And because in the process, he been with all this military experience, the spirit, he's like, tell us, I'm ready to this. So let's do it.
Nice.
I have already all this encouragement, I've been in all these things. So right now it's time to the spirit to talk, and I want to move on. So when I feel that, say, holy shit, okay, let's do it.
I picture like a mama bird, like kicking the baby.
A lot of things to talk about. And I don't know about you guys and Drew. What do you feel in that moment? I don't know. I have felt that really strong connection.
Yeah, I felt in that first ceremony, like with the Wachuma, like I felt you saw me by the fire, and I didn't have an experience with the Wachuma until 2 days afterwards. I didn't have a breakthrough with the Wachuma until 2 days after the ceremony had already ended. But in that ceremony, I had a connection with Renato. I saw him as a a brother. Like I recognized him as didn't know who he was, but I recognized his vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And, from then on, I looked for a teacher for a couple of years until, the spirits just told me my teacher had been there from the beginning. And I was looking for someone like a teacher coming to me, but it was so much better when I realized it was Renato, because he wasn't my dad. He was like my brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's like my big brother that knew about the plants, and he helped me he really reminded me, helped me remember about things. And Renato just has a way of not saying, this is what the plants do, but like he has a way of like bringing it out of yourself and having you remember it.
Mm.
And it's much more empowering that way. And he's allowed me to expand without boundaries. He's the one that's taught me to be able to expand without boundaries and allow my conscious to operate without boundaries at times. And when it's time to put boundaries on it and to be embody and to be Drew, then I can put boundaries on it. And he's allowed me to learn that on my own. And it's, his style of teaching or remembering, or whatever you want to call it, or empowering, is what I carry on and how I run my Wachuma ceremonies now. I mirror him because it works so well. There's a time to be soft in ceremony, and there's a time to be hard in ceremony. There's a time to let people, walk with a stomach, and and let them realize that they have to make the decision to purge on their own. Like they're waiting for someone to tell them, or something like that. Just an example. But Renato, over the years, and we've had some really amazing experiences in ceremony and outside of ceremony, and memories of being together like he was talking about, and just really honored that he was my partner and in this to do it again. And this time that we're doing it, I know that it's already done. Like the timeline's already set. Me and him both have already seen it, and now we're watching it just play out. And we're in the midst of the evolutionary shift of humanity. It's one of the biggest events that's ever happened. And we're right here at the forefront of it. And just, I feel honored to know Renato, for him to have trust in me and to share with me and help me unlock on things that I didn't even know I had, and abilities I had. And he's allowed me to move past the medicine even. The medicine is, at one time, was a deity. Wachuma, ayahuasca, they were deities to me. Now they're more partners, and we walk side by side. But I also have other tools that are not involved with the medicine at all, and allowed me to unlock my energy inside myself. And this is what I'm starting to pass on now to other people. So he's a beautiful link in a chain that has helped several people, similar to myself, come to these same understandings and everything. So he's a blessing to the world, and his understanding of the plants and vibration and how frequency works is something I strive to learn more and to match that understanding that he has, because it's so powerful. Little introduction on myself. I've been on the show before.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you guys, Sammy and Nate, for having me back on. My name is Drew. My name is Bankey, Blue Thunder Man. I'm a sun dancer. I'm a carrier of the sacred pipe. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm a brother, an uncle, and many titles. But I'm just a human. And me and my wife Ella founded Sacred Journeys Within. We're just become a 501c3 church last month, so
Nice.
It's a big step for us. We have
That's awesome.
so we're legit as you can make it right now medicine church in the United States. So we're not just a Facebook page or a website. We're actually a church, and we're registered with the state now.
It's awesome.
So
congratulations.
Yeah, we're expanding our church more to better offer just understanding and offer ceremony and just a better way of life. Our basis, we're not a healing retreat center, we're an optimization center. We do work with healing, but our main focus is more optimization and taking people to the next level of what happens after they see the digital code, and when they start seeing what happens after they had 2 or 3 ceremonies, where they go after that. And this is what our place will be, is more geared towards. I think we talked about it before.
It's like you're an accelerator on someone's spiritual path. It's just you boost them to that next level.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. There's places there for healing, but I want to move past that, because it's I just feel that's where my next evolution of where I'm supposed to be offering is. Can you guys explain
more of what Hachuma is and how it's practiced and the origins of it? Because we know what it is, but for the listeners that don't know what Hachuma is, they've just been hearing it over and over again. It'd be nice to just narrow in on what exactly that medicine is.
Yeah. Real quick, I do want to say I'm going through a big lesson in my life right now, a grief lesson. I've lost my nephew on March 15th. His name is Blake Michael Bankey. He's a veteran. Today's his birthday. He would have been 29 today. So, and we lost him to suicide. He took his own life. So it's a big test of my resolve to be here doing this today. And I just want to say, I love you, Blake, and giving prayers out to his transition and everything. And not to bring it down or anything, but this is a celebration of him. Yeah. This is how I see. Yeah. So the grief thing, I do want to touch on this. There's a lot of people going through grief, this grief lesson right now, and I've had tons of spiritual lessons that's come from this since March 15th. And it's allowed me to see the beauty in this experience. This is a tragic experience, and no doubt it's hard on my heart, but it's also a lot of beautiful experiences out of it that's came and allowed me to see the beauty in it. But blessings to Blake and his transition and wherever he goes from here. But just wanted to share that real quick.
Wow. Man. And you're not bringing it down. I really appreciate you bringing that up, actually, because it's important. A lot of people are going through a crazy time, and I honestly resonate with what you're saying. I had a loss in the family recently, and my cousin was about the same age as Blake, and it's woken up a lot of stuff in me, and I feel it's sad to say that had to happen, but I really do feel like I'm going to live a brighter life because of losing her and seeing what can be done and just feeling like I'm not wasting my time here. And it's hard to explain, but I really appreciate you bringing it up is all I can say, honestly.
Yeah. With I don't want to take away from the rest of the show, but this is very important in my heart right now. What the spirits have told me through this, what I can do to channel this energy and this pain, where I can put it to change. Yeah. And one, he was a government employee. He was a veteran, and then he was a contractor for the government. So me having people in my family, this is the second person in my family. My sister-in-law just over a year ago did the same thing. She was the same age. She was a police officer, 28 years old. That's why I know there's synchronicities. That's these two things that's happened. Yeah. The thing that the spirits told me that to channel this energy moving forward, this pain, is the acceptance of these ways that me and Renato work with. These medicines and these ceremonies have to be accepted for what they are. It's time for it to stop.
Yeah.
The bullshit has to stop. The pharmaceutical industry is a farce. It needs to stop. It's doing nothing but hurting people because it's about money.
Mm-hmm.
The real cures are down south in the jungle and in cactuses and in the middle, in the center of everybody's heart is really the medicine. And it's time for us to wake up. Because I'm not mad at Blake. I'm not mad at anybody else about what happened. I'm holding our society at fault for this. And I'm here to tell you, you can cut this out if you want, but anybody that hears this, the government or whatever, I'm coming for you. I'm coming. I'm tearing you down. I'm holding you responsible for my nephew and my sister-in-law's death.
Not a chance, dude.
They both
This is the
tried to
show
reach
now.
out
Let it out, bro.
Both tried to reach out for help and was denied because of their jobs and their government employees, and that they were both ridiculed for this. And they couldn't come to me and my wife for help. They know full well what we do. They couldn't come to us for help because they would have fear of losing their jobs. This has to stop.
They weren't allowed to go for a medicine ceremony.
Right.
Wow.
The understanding and the acceptance of these plants in these ways has to become acceptable, and it has to come out of the shadows. So this is why I wanted to do it as soon as possible, why I'm still in this grieving process, so I can let this energy out through here.
Yeah.
And in a good way.
It's so frustrating that there's such a clear solution to a lot of these problems that are around the world and a lot of these mental health issues. There's clear answers, man, and I've seen it happen through ceremony. I've seen the changes in my life, Sammy's life, and my friends and the people in the circles, and it breaks my heart that it's still today. It's almost still in secret. It's coming out, but it's still a lot of people look against these substances, these medicines, and they call it they put in the same category as heroin and all this kind of stuff. And these are real medicines that can really change people's lives and actually stop them from doing something very, very crazy, like what happened in your story. And it's a shame that there's no access to this medicine for a lot of people.
Yeah,
it really breaks my heart, man. And you know what? This is what the show is about today. This needs to be addressed. Yeah. It needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I think I've even said it on the show.
I can explain a little bit about that, guys, if you want.
Yeah.
Why the humanity are afraid about, all these beautiful, plants and, and rituals and ceremonies, and it's because all the history about the fear, the power. And if you take a look in the history, almost all the basically, the psychoactive components, the background here, these low vibration forces, incarnated in some leaders here, they just take this in the big companies, and with the sacred tobacco, they just create cigarettes.
Yeah.
With the coca leaves, a sacred medicine plant, used in the Andes for 1,000 years and generations. They just do the coke and just put it in, and let's fill this shit.
Yeah.
Same thing with almost all sacred plants, DMT, with all that chemical component. So they try to, put it there to make look bad, make look, this is not good for you guys. So we have a solution here with the pharmacy companies, and a different government, with all these societies, about chemical industries in the in the planet. So also we are talking about here about magic, and for really in the Inquisition, if you guys, if the people is take a look in the history, we are already understand why Jesus, he go to to India to try with sacred plants with opium, and then he come back and everybody want to kill that man.
Yeah.
And he's like the biggest enemy of the Pharisees.
Yeah.
Same thing happened right now with the Catholic religion, because that religion they are not totally aligned with this kind of situations with sacred plants, and it's almost satanic, and the Pachamama is a satanic symbol too, and so what is the big message here, guys, for all the people is follow yourself, follow your guidance, and stop to put attention to all that bullshit the television tell you, the history tell you, because that history is writing by human beings, and human beings, we are not perfect. We don't have the almost 100% true, because we don't know our past. Mm-hmm. We don't know about our own history. We don't know where we come from, what we are doing here, nothing at all. We don't know nothing at all. I think so the 80% of this planet they're living like zombies. They really don't know what they're doing, and they thinking they come here just to go to your jobs, guys, and then feeding your family and feel yourself happy because you have your American dream.
Yeah.
But that is bullshit.
It's the same thing happening to the plants that's happening to the people.
This is for you guys to live absolutely in a dream. So if you guys you want to really make your dreams come true and stop to live in that illusion you are creating, it's time to take responsibility first about yourselves and stop to thinking about others. Think about you, take care about you, be the best version of you, understand yourself, and maybe you're going to need sacred plants or whatever, but don't judge something you never tried, you never experienced, because you don't know that.
Yeah, there's so much judgment.
The important things here, before to start judging people or things, is make sure about what kind of shit you are talking about, what kind of thing you are talking about, because it's putting in your mouth something poisoned for people. It's just like just put dynamite in your mouth, and an explosion of fire comes throughout, and burn everybody. If you don't know what are you talking about.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened when you're just taking and digest information from outside, from news or many things like that, governments or whatever, and you take it like the 100% truth. And you don't, guys, you need to have, the encourage to doubt, to say that this is truth or not. Maybe not. Okay, let's research, let's study, let's go there and let's live this experience.
Yeah.
But if you just say, yes, let's do it because everybody's doing that shit.
Yeah.
So let's put the vaccine. That is gonna be the solution because everybody's putting the vaccine. I'm gonna do the same shit too.
Exactly.
It's like, come on, man.
It's kind of like a hypnosis. We're monkeys, like.
That's it.
You grew up with the plants. A lot of us grew up with the news, and the TV and the government and all this kind of hypnosis. And I mean, like I was talking about my cousin, she OD'd recently, like to what Drew was saying about Blake. It's not exactly the same situation, but I had the answer. I knew she was going through a hard time, and it was with drugs. And we've interviewed people who do iboga ceremonies. And it's a little more clinical, but it's still very effective to help people. And I didn't think to make that connection. Now that she's passed away, I'm I'm thinking whatever the money, whatever the energy that I needed to put in, of course I would have done it. But I had a block inside myself that it wasn't even possible or necessary. And it's like, it's a unconscious fear. It's like it's complicated, you know? It's like, well, maybe it's not so complicated, but it's kind of hidden inside us. Like you're saying, and Drew was saying as well, that the medicine is also just our hearts, just finding your center, like you're saying as well, and just being in your power in that sense. And then you don't need to be following.
It is complicated, guys. You know, it's true what are you saying, because it's not easy for somebody, you know, coming with all that programs, because let's talk about these like programs like all these conditionment, you know, come from your families, from religion, from politics, from your schools, your university, from everything we have, you know.
Yeah.
So that is I encourage people to jump there, you know, and really it's about that. It's about encourage yourself to jump in a place without expectation, to really to say, you know what, I don't know about this. Okay, you know what? If let's do it. Boom, jump there. And I understand. I'm sorry to give you the word. I understand something too about the fear people have, and this is something super important. You don't need to go and sit in everywhere with somebody because they say, "Oh, I'm a medicine man, I'm a shaman." You know, when you look and then you see this guy full of feathers, because you don't know what kind of people you're gonna mix your energy, you know. So that is important too, you know. If you feel, you know, the call to sit in a ceremony, you first, you know, do the research about with what kind of medicine you are taking, with what kind of people you're sitting, you know, because it's not just or if you want to take it by yourself, doing it alone, you know. I just suggest you, if you want to try the experience, do it in a really, really, really respectful way for yourself, you know, and try, you know, to don't go for the way to excess. So go little by little in the experience to really to find your own rhythm and level. And then if you feel comfortable, okay, jump in a ceremony and you can understand another levels of experience with sacred plants, you know.
Yeah.
But here the thing is, you know, guys, stop to throw your energy away, you know, with the pharmacist companies, you know. Sorry about your loss, my brother. You know, I love you so much, and I'm with you. And I've also with all that people is dying there because, you know, the pharmacist company, they are selling poison, or because, you know, the government, you know, they are not totally open, you know, to really to help the people they need because stupid rules and, you know, laws. So I encourage you people, you know, to really go in, you know, maybe not in the shaman pad, you know, but just to understand a bit more, you know, the consciousness exists in crystals, in plants, in the elemental kingdom, you know, and because we are that elements. And in that way, you know, we can have a biggest perception about who we are, why we are here, be a best version of yourself, and absolutely enjoy, you know, living this planet and being respectful and take care about. Drew, you want to say something? Sorry if I interrupt you.
Oh no, it's okay. No, the plants were, you know, my understanding of the plants now, like ayahuasca, she represents the vibrational code of the divine feminine of the entire universe. The Wachuma, San Pedro, and peyote, they carry the vibrational code for the divine masculine, and that's where my understanding of these plants are now. They're the vibration. Both of them are the vibrational codes of the entire universe combined. So, and I've recognized it in people that work with just ayahuasca. I recognize where their vibration's at. It's a little more one-sided towards the feminine. I recognize where people I know people that work just with Wachuma or peyote, and they're more masculine, and I recognize people that work with both. And it seems that once someone works with both those medicines in a level where like me and Renato works with them, it transforms into something else where you're actually connecting to the source, and then it moves on. Then we're actually starting to teach you know, how to connect to the sun and not have to connect to these plants at all. You know, that all these plants are just a breakdown of the sun. So, you know, where I'm starting to get to now, where I'm starting to learn, like my morning meditation in the sun is just as powerful as a ceremony, if not more. And, you know, that's, if, you know, with the COVID and everything, it opened up a lot of things that showed us that the medicines are going to be harder to get from down south up here across the border to the States, to Canada, and anywhere else. Because of COVID, we lost shipments. We lost 2 kilos of ayahuasca at the beginning of the year. That was a big hit for us. So it was anything that happens, you know, if I speak about it in my book, you know, like everything happens for a reason. Everything is lined up. So I have to believe that in every situation. In the situation with my nephew and the situation where we lose medicine, I have to find the lesson in that, because it's not a heartache. There's a lesson in it somewhere. You know, I might be upset about it for a minute or a while. I'm still probably will always be upset about my nephew, but there's lessons in it, and these hard times is what we have to recognize, and how to transmute those times and find those lessons. And that could be a simple, you know, of taking a peyote button or something like that, or it could be simple as taking a few breaths and asking yourself the question that you're needing an answer for. And lots of times the answer will come out from inside you after a few breaths. You know, you just have to come back into the moment and get out of the thought of the past, present, or future, and come into that moment. And it's easy as a breath. And that's, you know, moving forward with what Sacred Journeys Within and my work. And, you know, I'm sure, like, partnered with Renato, we're going to be moving forward with how to do this without plants, because the plants are not always going to be here. And they're ultimately, if we keep relying on the ceremonies and the plants, they become crutches. You know, I think we talked about this the last time I was on with you guys. Yeah. You know, these plants can become crutches for people at times, like if they don't keep moving forward and evolving and understanding that the plants are just a part of an evolutionary process. It's not the end. Getting back to all that, the original question
about Wachuma.
You guys wanted the explanation of Wachuma. Yeah. I gave it last time on the show. I would love for Renato to break down Wachuma all the way, brother. if you could break it down all the way from ceremony, all the way to vibrational code out in the universe, that'd be great.
Yes,
like
please.
The whole shebang of Wachuma.
Okay. First, I want to explain about the spirit world. Okay. Exists different levels of existence of life. And you know, exists the etherical life, the spiritual life, and the physical life too. They are both culminated in this universe, in this level in this dimension, in the 3D dimension. You know, where everything is duality, because this is a big school. It's the university of the duality. You know, for many ancient spirits. In this university, there are many spirits that offer themselves to incarnate in a specific kind of beings, and these beings have a specific kind of properties. And so basically, the Wachuma is not the cactus, and the ayahuasca is not a vine, or the peyote is not the tiny cactus, or, you know, the whatever. or the muscaria is a mushroom or whatever. No, that is what like we like humans we try to understand and recognize things because, for example, you guys or everyone here, when we meet somebody, the first thing we saw is not the soul or the spirit, it's the physical body. So for that reason, like humans, we, try to understand things in the physical way, for the physical composition. My telephone, a pen or whatever. But we don't know more about, the theoretical composition, all that micro components sometimes we are not able to see. Same things happen with sacred plants. So that's why it's difficult for us to understand these sacred plants. They are cosmic beings, basically, incarnated, like your spirit, for example, take the decision to reincarnate in a physical body like human. These beings, they made the decision to incarnate in these, sacred plants. You got it?
Makes sense.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't got it, but I got it. So that's why they're totally fully different one to another, because they come from different constellations and there are different races. The ayahuasca, for example, more feminine, energy, more Marian energy, alignment with the Christic energy too, but more Marian energy, more creative energy, more also chaotic and creative energy, and that kind of thing. Energy move you, everything, the emptiness, the darkness, super feminine energy, the totally fully cosmos. They're Lilith, for example, these goddess, have connection with this beautiful being too, with the spirit of ayahuasca. Also, it's a long history, but this entity, have more connection with reptilians, for example, reptiles, with dragons, with that kind of energy. So that is the example for, to say people, hey, here, stop to judge the reptilians, stop to judge the draconians, and stop to say they are the enemy, because you don't know what is happening over there. Because yes, it's just a parenthesis here about the cosmic things. Is many people think, oh, the Pleiadians, they are the good guys, the reptilians and the draconians, they are the bad guys. The Arturians, they are the good guys, and the Orion people, they are the bad guys. So this is like, oh, man, like a story, like Star Wars. Like there's a good guy and a bad guy.
Like without is within. It's like up. It's like down. It's so if we have, so many different races here, species, with these different, ways to live lives, like human beings, we're so different. Same thing happened with the cosmic beings. They are not, there are some ones that are doing good things, and there are some ones that are doing bad stuff. Pleiadians think same stuff, guys. There are some Pleiadians that are not doing so good, And same thing with the reptilians. There are some reptilians that are doing really good shit, guys, for you.
Yeah, like you're doing the air quotes when you say good and bad. You're making me think of like karma. It's like there's no good or bad karma. It's just stuff happening, right?
Because we are the ones who we try to understand everything about good, bad, feminine, masculine. We come back again to the place about this dimension, with the university, with the duality university. So that is the point, whatever. Well, let's come back to the sacred plants. In this case, for example, the Wachuma is more connected with the Christic energy, the solar energy, the masculine energy. And but that is in a 3D, position for the humans to understand, because in other levels they are feminine and masculine. They are not. They are both. They are integrated already. So for us to understand, okay, the fire is masculine, the water is feminine, the wind is masculine, the earth is feminine, but they are both, literally. They are androgynous beings. They don't need that kind of separation of things. So basically, the cactus, to go straight to the explanation about the cactus, the last generations of civilizations they really been working strong with that is in Chavin, the Huántar in Peru, in the temple of Chavin, and they have specific temples and specific, labyrinths to work with, also, with some connection with the jungle, and they is that the Chavin's traditions. They've been, the ones, the Spanish people. Okay, we don't touch these people, and because they are, our religion, like a city, so it's like maybe sacred, for everybody there. They are the one, to bring healing also to the Spanish people too, and so there are, in the history, is you're not able to find more about the past, but this spirit, being for really, really, really more time ago, thousands years ago, like an algae in the ocean, So jump to the algae in the ocean to be this cactus, there for a really long period of, evolution, for the cactus. So right now we find it in the Andes, but take a really long time to live this process, to be this algae to jump to the cactus. Like spirit, this being in Atlantis, in and in a physical way, like us. Like I have the change, and I have remembers to share with the spirit of Alesh, because that is like the cosmic name he, she, and we been talking with this guy, with Alesh, like a higher priest, in I don't remember if it's Lemuria or Atlantis, and what happened after the fall, because the vibration, comes down, he offered himself, to be this being, to help the humanity to remember what they are and live in the present moment, and to don't connect with the fear, basically. And connect with the fear in a higher level of proportion, so you can understand that and you can jump, basically. Because these big waves, and after all that, create big chaos and a lot of chaotic situations happen in all these faults, and with Atlantic fault and Lemuria's fault. So basically, he comes here like a spirit in this cactus to help humanity to release part of that fear and transmute that energy in a higher energy, basically. And so to understand more yourself, to be in this elliptic, spiral, evolutionary elliptic, high to the sky, and it's a sacred medicine. Basically the chemical component is the mescaline. Have another beautiful chemical components too, and that chemical components can help people in physical and a spiritual way. Also animals too. And I don't know if you want to explain a bit about the benefits, Drew.
Yeah, benefits is, it just induces almost, ego death. It's the Wachuma. The way me and Renato work with it mostly is a walking medicine where we hike in it during the day in the sun to connect to the sunlight in a different way. You can feel the sunlight going through your skin at certain points in your eyes, and you start getting downloads and that you normally don't recognize, I guess. So the Wachuma translates into the head off. So it it allows you to walk basically without your ego, and that's where we like to work with it in the mountains during the day, and very very present, more present than you've ever been. But you walk with it, and we do silent walks, and we stop periodically and set up the altar, share medicine or songs or talk. Or we just let it. The Wachuma allows you to connect, with everything around you. It allows you to understand the importance of water. We do drink water during the hike, so you understand the importance of water and your connection to it and how you are water. And one little drink of water in the middle of ceremony, if you haven't had a drink in 2 hours, will just blast you off into another dimension, and it's just small little things like that will allow you to understand just amazing things. Like, one thing I like to do with it is before we set out on a hike, I ask everybody that is going with us in the ceremony, what are we going to find on the hike? And whatever first thing that comes to mind, they'll be looking for that when they're to the ceremony, and they'll find it, and that's their magical moment. So the reason I do these things, and the reason why I'm sitting here talking about this, and so in love with these ceremonies in ways, they saved my life, but they've also, I've had moments that are just unexplainable, magical moments, and a lot of them has come during Wachuma hikes. There hasn't been one Wachuma hike I've been on that hasn't been something magical happen, whether I've been a participant or I've been leading it. And I've seen moments where people realize that God's all around them, and the Wachuma allows that to happen, allows these miracles to happen to people firsthand. And that's probably the biggest thing. There's so much on a physical level it does to help out our bodies. It helps out clearing out our meridian line and chakra system, helps energy flow better, helps through both our physical and our energetic selves. I could talk about that all day, but really getting down to it, it allows you to see miracles firsthand, witness them. And that's what Wachuma does for what I've seen every single time, and that's, Wachuma's probably, I know ayahuasca's listening right now. I hope she don't get mad, but Wachuma is probably my favorite ceremony. Wow. Ayahuasca's right there. She's always there, but Wachuma is my favorite. It allows me to be a child, and it allows people to, one thing I took away from Renato and how he runs his ceremonies, he leads the ceremonies as a big brother, but he's not leading the ceremony as an authority figure. The ceremony is a cooperative thing. It's to teach the symbiotic relationship of nature. So that's how we run our ceremonies, and that's how he taught me how to run my ceremonies. And I carry that over also with ayahuasca. I may have a relationship with these plants that may be a little deeper than you, but we're setting down and communing with this vibration, this plant, together as an equal, because ultimately, outside of duality, there is no hierarchy. So we like to bring that in to when we do ceremonies. We like to bring it in how we see the world should be, and that's how we run our ceremonies. So we've ran ceremonies together with Combo ayahuasca, rapé. Like we blasted each other with rapé until we almost throwed up, and we've had fun. We've laughed and cried together and done all types of things together. Like and we've got mad. We've had fights together, not physical fights, but arguments, and just like any brothers would. But I know for a fact that it's been going on for thousands of years and many incarnations. We've been doing this together, and we're going to keep doing it. So I just have to put up with them, and just make the best of it.
Yeah. What's so unique though is the relationships that you form from the people that partake in ceremonies together. It's like it's hard to explain how bonding it is to those who have never who have never participated in a ceremony, but you just know the people in the circle around you at such a deep level that you don't even need to know like the physical names, the avatar. You don't need to know the person's name or anything. You already know everything about them from that experience. You know?
There is something stripping about it.
So the altar is like a portal.
Yes.
And if you've been deep in ceremony or work with the medicine deeply, you've seen the portal open up in an altar, and to go through that, like what I feel and what I see in ceremony, everybody, all the entities in the ceremony, all participants, whether you're behind the altar or in front of the altar, they come together as one and to go through this portal. Then we go through the portal and we go into the spirit world, and then we separate again. We get to have our own experience, but for a brief moment, we become one to go through this portal, and then we become one to come back through the portal and come back into the ceremony. And then you're looking around. It's like, oh my God, I'm looking at myself right now. Oh my God, I'm looking at myself right now. And you've done it. I've done it so many times. I know that I'm looking at myself right now. 3 of myself right now through the screen, and the separation that is between us is an illusion. I know we're all sitting right here together as one consciousness that's a mixture of 4 particles, talking about this and trying to get it out to millions, billions, however, how many people does get to, hopefully.
More of ourselves
as well. Yeah, more particles of ourselves that can pick out little pieces of this conversation, maybe a word that Renato said, or anything that's happened through this, whether it be the whole conversation or just one part. I just pray that it reaches one person, and that's my goal in any talk. But I think I'm going to start changing my goals. Like, I hope it reaches an infinite amount of people. Like, I hope it reaches everybody. I'm going to stop setting my goals for just one person. I'd be happy if it reaches one person, but my goal is it reaches everybody. Whether they hear it or feel it, or whether this vibration reaches them on a level that they can't even hear it or feel yet. I hope it gets there. I know me and Renato together has performed miracles. Like, we've done some really weird things, like and
I love the way you say that.
Anytime that we get together for ceremony or talk or anything, there's things that are happening on levels that neither one of us really understand or get at this, but I don't care to understand them as long as it's working. Because my plate's full at this point.
That's great.
What questions, man? Like, what questions you guys have? Like,
I'm just having fun talking to you guys, man. I just feel like I feel like we're resonating. Like, there's a lot, like that point of that 3D camaraderie that comes from this kind of joining, like you said, going through the portal together and then seeing them as yourself. Like, I love it. And lately I've been listening to this book. There's this channeler, Paul Selig. He's really fascinating, and I don't know why I'm ready for like these deeper teachings. And I just been walking around and looking at people on the street and looking them in the eyes and really feeling that there's a person behind there, and that I would just be them if I lived their life, and everything becomes so much more understandable, and it doesn't matter who it is. And it's like I can just fire this feeling on anyone, and it's so beautiful. And I'm doing it now when I came in and saw Nate, and I'm doing it with you guys, listening to you guys, and it's just making everything easier and more fun. And it's just like it's like life becomes this big ceremony and this big portal, if that makes any sense. And I love the way you put it, like particles, and like we become this kind of thing, like this one thing when we talk, and then there's this kind of force that is the information, and that it kind of bounces around like an energy that just moves based on our intentions. And I just resonate, man. I don't know if I can come up with questions, but I really just kind of want to thumbs up everything everyone's saying, because it's like it's really. Sorry,
I'm gonna cut him off because I know what he's gonna say. The life is a ceremony.
Yeah.
From the moment we're born, with the umbilical cord gets cut, we start our journey of separation from the source. The umbilical cord is our physical manifestation of our connection to the source. That gets cut, our ceremony starts. We take a medicine or anything like this, or we're talking right now, this is a ceremony. This is a subset of the main ceremony. The big ceremony that we're in right now, we're in a ceremony of evolution on a cosmic scale. Yeah. There's a lot. It's taking a lot more medicine people. It takes more than one medicine person to run this ceremony. So that's why a lot of us are holding ceremony with medicine, but we also understand that we're holding space for this galactic ceremony that's happening right now with humanity. So I know that's where Renato was going with the life is a ceremony. And, that realization is a huge one to hit. One thing that hit me about Renato when I first met him, he was a Wachuma shaman and, medicine man and this, and he would go away and go down south and travel, or go to London and do ceremony in England and all over the UK and all that stuff. And then he'd come back, and there was something that switched about him where he honored the medicine, but he was living free, like eating ice cream and candy and just enjoying life. And I was just like, I was just taking the medicine work so seriously, and just like, this going on a certain path. And it's just like, just watching Renato had a way of teaching me just by watching him. Like, he doesn't say it. He speaks a lot more to me now, but in the beginning, he didn't speak a whole lot to me. I just watching what he was doing and then trying to figure out what that meant, or he would just give me like a sentence. He'd be like, this say something to me about an eagle or something like that. Like, and then like eagle pops up like a year later or something like that. So then I go back and like start to dissect these different things he's saying. But then really what taught me the biggest thing was just watching how Renato laughs. And then I asked the Wachuma to give that to me once I started taking on the altar and finally working with Wachuma. They called me for a long time before I actually took on the altar. But when I did, the plant, the vibration showed me why Renato was the way he was. Like, he was connected to the light. I got to see that. He was connected to eternal life. And, once you understand, like, once you get past the duality lesson, you have eternal life, because even if this body shuts down right now while we're speaking, like, Drew's still alive. Like, the vibration of Drew's still here, and to speak on what Renato was talking about with Wachuma, I've really thought about what I'm going to do after this Drew's life. And I really want to become a new plant, and I want to become a new ceremony. Like, and so this is hopefully like what I will be after this life. So I've never heard the story that far back about Wachuma, and that story, that particular one. That's the first time I heard it. But it's definitely been on my mind and really struck me as finally what I want to do after this. Like, because it never stops. Like, maybe the Wachuma is ready. That spirit is ready for a break, and he's ready to go and do something else. Like, maybe that's who I step into those shoes or something. Yeah. But in this life, just to enjoy that every moment like that you're in is a blessing. And really, quite literally that your life, someone had to pray for you to be here. Someone had to want you. Your mother, father had to want you to be here at least.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us had, I know I've been prayed for a lot to reincarnate for the walk that I'm doing right now and the message that I carry, the vibration that I carry from a ways back. I know a lot of people has prayed for someone to carry that message forward. But all of us has had someone to pray for us. So that means every moment is our blessing, like is really a blessing. And it's our perception, our perception is, and our ego is what we have to get over and understand that even in the moment when we lose a loved one, or, we lose a limb, or we break a bone, or, get in a car accident, lose your legs, can't walk anymore, find the lesson in that, find the blessing in it, because you signed up for this moment anyway, like your higher self did. Your physical self is just going through the process to learn it. And the way that we learn best is hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can learn visually, and we can learn learn through speaking, but the way that we learn best and the way it really sticks into us is if we experience it. So, the hard things that we go through, we have those are experiences that we signed up to go through.
Yeah.
And the plants, that's one of the many blessings that the plants can give you and show you and help you understand. And it's not anything that the plants are showing you. It's really, they are helping you vibrate to get past the point of yourself. And we're holding ourselves down through, alcohol is a lower vibration than our manifestation. Like our manifestation vibrates at a certain vibration. Alcohol is a lower vibration. So when we drink alcohol, like we're bringing our vibration down actually past the point of manifestation. These plants vibrate at a much higher rate than our normal manifestation vibration. So they allow us to see and feel things that are around us and that we normally can't see because they're outside of our range. Just like a dog can hear a dog whistle and we can't hear it. Like there's that vibration is still there. That frequency is still in the air, even though we can't hear it. There's that spectrum is infinite, both the far, the above and below it. It goes infinitely. There's vibrations so low we can't hear them. There's vibrations so high we can't hear them. And they're all around us all the time. These plants just allow us to see different parts of these things.
That's the synchronicity is amazing, because we were talking about that on the way to the podcast about different sounds and vibrations and frequencies. But what do you feel is the solution for what's happening in the world right now, in terms of, you see the frequency everyone's operating on? I won't put everyone into the category, but the general consensus is fear. And with that fear so strong, people are not making decisions. They're just following instructions. How do we get out of this?
We're at the dawn of, humanity's at the dawn of releasing the fear of death. And we're seeing it on a global scale. We're seeing it on a personal scale. And if you didn't have fear of death, what would you care if you had COVID or not? Not giving any credence to because any disease really is just a snowball effect of someone's anxiety. Really, that's what COVID is. It's a snowball effect of someone's anxiety. Really, and ultimately, it's a snowball effect of someone's plan. And once you start seeing, like, people that go into the plant medicine ceremonies that has been on pharmaceuticals, they see right away the first thing that is really clear and right in front of their face is the real goal of the pharmaceutical companies. And then it starts to snowball out, and you start seeing how other things are, what Renato was talking about earlier, just double tapping on it in a different way. But these things are all designed to brainwash us into a certain way. And it starts off with pharmaceuticals, and then it goes into all these different things. And then we start to see it's been going on before we were even born. It's been going on for generations. It's been going on from the time that they had, that we started talking about two political parties that are designed to make us that think that we have a choice one way or the other. But, you know, Trump, he was a blessing because he showed us that really there is no choice either way. Really, we're living in an environment that's run by a corporation and it's run by money. And then you start seeing how, you know, for me, like I went to Iraq, I seen firsthand how war is used to how America uses war to wash money, and how that money is funnels in different places so the people don't know about it. You know how many friends and family that has disowned me and hasn't talked to me in years because I speak about aliens and spirits and all this stuff. Now the government's starting to come out about it, but I haven't got any calls like from, oh, hey, you know, now the government is releasing these things now. You know, aunts and uncles that don't talk to me anymore, haven't talked to them in years. But we have the answer to your question. We have to stand in our resolve. We have to stand. Ultimately, each of us that find the truth, we have to stand in our truth and share the truth because it's not ours. Like if you get a download, when I do integration with people after ceremony, like when they come and sit with me and they, you know, call me up days later or whatever, and you know, they don't want to talk to their family because they feel ashamed of what they saw or this, that, and the other. Or they're asking me if they should share it. I was like, well, ultimately, it's up to you to share it. But that information, if you fully understand the message, it's not yours. You're a vehicle for, just like my book and people that channel and people that do ceremonies, we're vehicles for these messages to come through so they can come in a way and put them into words so we can digest them, because we can't digest. Most of us can't digest telepathy or eagle flying or, you know, sundogs around the sun, or we can't dissect those with our minds. We can dissect these words, so these are vehicles. We have to share them. The answer to your question is stand in our truth and share it as much as possible, because it is the truth. It is the light. And if it's for humanity, it's here for us right now. And give the second part of that would be to give up the idea that you're going to go back to some type of norm. There is no norm. Like the norm is another word for that would be stagnant water. We're water. We're 80% water, our bodies. We need to understand we move like that. We keep evolving. We keep flowing forward. We never stop moving. If we do, we're stagnant water. So we go back to the norm of stagnant water that wasn't working before, that was disease-ridden. We know that it wasn't working. It was undrinkable water before. Why would we want to go back to it?
Interesting, yeah.
Let's go forward and and move forward with our crystalline body and drink more water to flush out this carbon so we can become more crystalline. And that's where we're headed. Our bodies are becoming more crystalline. I know mine and Renato's bodies are for sure have more crystalline than most. And that's just because we understand that we're moving forward. We have to release this carbon. The carbon is holding us down from moving forward as a species. And the carbon is a lower vibration. It's fear. It's fear of death. This is what the big, you know, I wouldn't say big, because really the big thing is our life, you know. And what I come to realize just yesterday, I was speaking to someone. I was like, they said my birthday's coming up on Sunday, April 11th. I'll be 41, by the way. Happy birthday, Drew.
Happy birthday, Drew.
And
it's true. We said in the chat that
someone
we're
said,
all April babies.
41 trips around the sun.
Hey.
I said, no, the sun has done 41 trips around me, because the center of my universe is right here. The center of my universe is not the sun.
Yeah.
Like the center of my universe is right here. So the sun has done 41 trips around myself. And if we can all can understand that, to not speaking on a level like I'm this or I'm higher than anyone else. We just have to honor ourselves for the just that we see everything around us. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
for the sacredness, for the people that does ayahuasca, and ayahuasca saved their life. Ayahuasca didn't save your life. You saved your own life.
Exactly.
So honor yourself to that extent. And that's where it starts out. And then you love yourself like that, and then you can start spreading it around and affect the whole world.
I'm so on board with what you're saying. Like the fear, it all connects. Now, the shame we were talking about, of people not wanting to talk about their experiences, and that comes from that fear and that perpetuation. That's just that ego response of keeping everything the same. But that is stagnation. That is like, bad water, like you're saying. And there's just this understanding.
How many of us are going through heartache right now with losing loved ones? How many?
Yeah.
What is the status quo in the United States and Canada? Not in other countries, but what's the status quo when someone in your family commits suicide? You don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's
like a taboo topic.
Yeah.
You just hush.
Death in general. Really.
Bleep, fuck that, because that is what is causing all this, because it's never talked about.
No one's talking about these things. These are real statistics.
No one's talking about it. No one's talking about the hard truth.
Hmm.
It's scary,
what I saw in my family, and I was guilty of it too. I showed up. I was at right next to my nephew's apartment in Pueblo, Colorado, an hour, almost 2 hours away from me. I was there for 2 weeks straight, never left, and helped clean out his apartment. I saw the scene in his place. This is the second suicide scene I've seen in just over a year, which is very hard. But we need to start showing up when someone dies like this. What really hit me, I'm guilty of it. I am going to start showing up more for people like I did when I found out Blake had passed. Because if I'd have started showing up to that tenacity and just stayed there at his house, right there beside his house for 2 weeks, it may have been a different story. But, it all happens for a reason for me to understand that. And I hate that my nephew had to die for me to understand that. But it's not the reason, but it's one of the byproducts of that moment, that I pulled out of that moment to, taking pieces out of a burning fire, out of that wreckage. I was pulling pieces out that I could salvage out of that disaster. And that's one of the things, that's one of the beautiful things that I pulled out of that fire and that disaster was the way we handle death in North America has to change, because it's handled way different in other countries. And if it's handled way different there, like, there's different outcomes, like, and that's what we need to change. This is what we need to wake up to. And there's so many of my friends and family and people that I know that right now are losing loved ones through suicide, addiction, COVID, or whatever you want to call it. And there's prophecies that talk about these times that there's going to be a split in humanity. There's part of humanity that wants to move forward with the evolutionary path and evolve, and there's some of us that souls or particles of source that have chosen or still need to go through duality. So they're going to reincarnate and be in this reality that's gonna keep on going. But there's going to be some type of split. Don't know what it's going to look like, but it's been talked about for years, and I've heard about it for years, and I didn't know what it was going to look like when it started to unfold, but this is what it looks like right now.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
It looks like there's people, there's mass shootings, there's people dying all over, and that's it's not bad. It's just happening. It's just is what it is, and that's what we have to, that's what we have to get to as a person and as a society and as a people and a humanity. We just have to understand that things are happening that we may not understand at the moment, but we're here. Yeah. Renato, what's your take on what we can do moving forward as humanity.
Oh my God.
5-minute version.
Nah, take your time. I mean, I don't know if
No.
are you in a rush at all? I could go till like 2 or something.
Like another 10, 15.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. What we can do to be a better humanity. So, first thing is be simple. Take a look in nature. If humanity first take a look in their own nature, humanity is going to be able to understand more about themselves. Because a lot of people in this spiritual path, they already take people to jump to understand the war with, and it's beautiful and it's true. But in my case, I try to do it in a most simple way. Because for some people, sometimes it's not too simple to go with it. It's a big challenge. So what I'm doing for people, and what I suggest is for people to connect with nature, really. Like the Buddha, for example. Buddha, to understand their own inner, world and universe, he first, start to understand everything happen around. In the way the birds sing, in the way the suns go out, in the way the stars bright, in the way the winds comes through you, in the way you can drink a glass of water, or in the way you can just, share food in your table. That kind of simple things, the church is life. That is life. That simple things, they are life. And like human beings, we love to complicate everything. We try to classify everything, to put name to everything, number to everything, and whatever. But we need to understand life don't have that. Don't have a number, don't have volume, don't have nothing like that. Because life is just, it is like it is. It's not complicated. It's easy. It's simple. Love, same thing. Don't have, a proportion. Don't have a color. Love is love. So, for me, the life have, something special. For somebody else is different. So, we can think here we have a beautiful being. It is life, but in this being, have connections with another kind of beings, humans, and everybody have a different way to live lives, okay? Because everybody interpret that in a different way. Same happen with love, have different interpretations. Love is a big, beautiful entity, but the way I love is not the same way Drew or you guys love. There are different ways. So we try to classify the way we receive love and we give love. Sometimes, the struggles in couples. I love you. And she can say, but you don't love me enough. But maybe this is everything you can do. Maybe this is everything you can give. And you're doing your best, but she wants more. So basically what happened there we need to understand, to recognize the love in the way we know about the way we deserve. It's just in the way we understand that, in the way we understand love, in the way we understand life like human beings. If we understand ourselves, that is the first step to have a best humanity. Understand ourselves, then we can construct a best humanity. So first, for that, we need to take care about ourselves. Be responsible about ourselves. Be a best version of myself, And absolutely, if everybody's in peace in this planet, we don't have more wars. If everybody have a healthy life, we don't have more sickness situation. So this is like that,
It's true.
It's just an explosion of things. I don't want to say, okay, everybody needs to think about same things, because I explain about that. We have different ways to express where love, where life, where whatever. But it's just to resonate a bit with something called you to do better, to be better, and then you find solutions. Because I honor that we people, fight for the indigenous rights, for example, or animals' rights, or things like that. And I've been doing that things, but I don't want to do it anymore, because I know that is not the solution. And I've been there, in Greenpeace and things like that. No kill, the ocean and things, whatever. Being in the street, running away from the police and things like that. I know what does it mean that, being there, with all that. But in a moment I say, you know what, this is more anger, frustration, more, and I don't want this. I don't want more enemies in my life. I don't want to fight this, I don't want here to fight any war, to nobody's war. I'm here, to try to understand who I am. What am I doing here? And then, try to make my life as simple as possible to do better. Simple lives, simple solutions. Complicated lives, complicated solutions. So take you longer. So depend on you guys. This is the message for the entire humanity. You want to make it easy, or you want to make it complicated?
It's you guys. It sounds like you're both saying that we need to just be in our knowing, and that if we know who we are, what we are, and how we serve, then we can just realize that we're free, and like this inner war kind of, when that ends, then you just kind of have this life of freedom. And it's because you both said very different things, but you kind of both said the same thing. It's about honoring your life and your beliefs and your experiences, and then living according to that, so that you're in alignment with your own self. And then that vibration is very contagious. And it's like, enough said. I don't even know what to say beyond that. I guess we have to end anyway. But if you guys, I don't want to stop talking. It's really.
You say, you need to honor your own truth.
Yes.
That's it.
You need to honor that. Because if you don't honor that, you don't believe in yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then what can you do? Then someone else will.
You believe in yourself first, and then believe in somebody.
Were you saying something, Drew?
We assume all the time we need to believe in somebody because my father, my mother, my aunt, my uncle, Hey, I need to learn to believe in somebody if I want to be a human being.
Yeah.
I need to start to believe in myself, to jump in the stage, to be a best version of myself, to be the real me. To say, oh my God, this is me. Holy moly.
There's not a whole lot of truths, but one the truths that that is a cosmic truth. It's not a personal truth. There is only one consciousness, and we have, as a human race, we have to come to that understanding this year. We have to come to it to move forward. We have to understand that there's one consciousness and we're all sharing it. We have to understand that. Once you understand that, that's what Renato was talking about. There's no wars. There's no hierarchy. All this fades away when I understand. I'm looking at myself. How am I going to be mad at? I'm probably going to have an argument in the future with Renato, because we have different views on things at different times, and we're both a proud Wachuma shaman. So so we bump heads sometimes, but I know that we're going to get through that too. And I expect both, and I honor both, because without it we wouldn't be living. But I want to say I honor both you and Sammy and Nate. I honor both you guys, and your skeletons that's between you. I don't know his name, but I honor him too.
We're working on it.
What's his name?
We're still working on it.
What's his name?
We're still working on it.
No name yet.
No name yet.
Weird.
It hasn't come to us yet.
He seems infatuated with
Renato,
Nate.
can you close us out with a prayer, bro? Would you honor us with a prayer?
We are ready? We finish? Oh no.
It flew by.
Yeah, it's pretty much 2 hours. Yeah, we have to go, unfortunately. But we'll have you guys on again.
We'll do this again.
Fantastic, yeah.
Cool. Just real quick, my book, Sacred Journeys Within. My church, Sacred Journeys Within. Check us out. Our Facebook page, our webpage, sacredjourneyswithin.com. We are a 501c3 church now. If anybody's listening that feels called to make a big donation or a small donation, we give you tax forms and everything for your donation. We're moving forward and building, expanding our place. We're looking to buy a teepee or a new yurt immediately, so we can start housing people in bigger ceremonies here.
Nice.
And eventually have a permanent structure. My book, I'm Perfect and So Are You. Check it out on Amazon. It's available in ebook format or paperback, and soon I'm going to be putting in audiobook format. I got a lot of requests for audiobook format for the book, and
love those audiobooks.
Yeah, working on my second book. My second book I'm starting, putting together notes and everything. That's going to be called The Son of the Sun. So that's going to be dealing more particularly with energy and sun and our connection to the solar and all that. So, yeah. Renato, you got anything you want to share, plugs that you want to put out? Oh, I will be, me and Ella will be going to California at Zen West at the end of this month. I don't know when this episode will publish.
It should be out Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So the 24th through 26th will be at Zen West in Southern California, a festival. We'll be sharing music and prayer, and I'll also be speaking there on the main stage. Cool. About everything we're speaking about here.
Amazing.
September, going to Mount Shasta, just booked that yesterday. Speaking at a QHHT reunion conference. And next month, I'll be speaking with Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio on May 10th.
Awesome. So
that's about it for right now. We got a lot of ceremonies coming up. Check out our Facebook page, our website. We got updates on that. We're working with ayahuasca mostly this summer. And Changa, that's a new medicine, a new altar that we're taking on, and we started working with that and done a couple ceremonies, and I got a really beautiful blend of Changa that we're working with and able to really get some amazing results here lately. So,
awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to having both of you guys down, and so I can twist your minds open sometime soon.
I'd like to make it happen.
I'm in. I'm definitely in.
Yeah.
And Renato, me and Renato, we were speaking just over the past couple of days, and yesterday we set the date June 18th, 19th, and 20th. We're doing a solstice retreat here in Blanca, Colorado. Renato is going to come up and join us. So it'll be me and Ella and Renato holding a 3-day retreat, probably with combo, ayahuasca, and wachuma.
Very
and
cool.
Changa will be in the mix somewhere in there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun time.
Good. Please,
Renato,
everybody. Yeah.
what you got going on, bro?
What?
What you got going on?
Yeah, just inviting people to visit you, bro. Drew, he lives in a beautiful land in the Sacred Valley in Colorado, and he really do beautiful things there, and with Ella. So thank you for doing your service, bro. Thank you for holding that space there, for holding that beautiful pillar, energetic pillar there to connect with another fires and with more people, with more hearts, and help people, to really to do better and change people's lives. So thank you, bro. And yeah, I'm really happy. Thank you also, to open me against the doors to make this possible in June. It's going to be a really beautiful and deep experience. I know that I can really feel it already. So is everybody invited? Everybody welcome to go. If it's you guys, we want to know more about me. If you have any questions, please. I don't know if you guys you're gonna be able to share where social medias or things like that, guys.
Yeah, we'll put some links.
Okay, so please, guys, visit my social medias, Drew's social medias, my social medias. We are here to to talk. If you want to talk like friends, so please don't take these things too seriously. Take it easy. Let's have some fun here. Let's learn in the best way. But let's have some fun. It's the best way to be flexible, to really to jump in the way to move on. And because if we continue to take things in a really so serious way, we're gonna die.
Faster.
We're gonna die.
That's the perfect way to end it, man. I love it.
I love it.
Okay,
gentlemen.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
It was lovely talking to you guys. We love you. We love the work you're doing, and we'd love to have you on again soon. So just thank you, and you guys blew our minds a few times.
Yeah.
So have fun. We'll see you soon. Hopefully, we'll see you in person. And thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sharing.
Let's do it again next time and get into the energetic grid. Like let's move out of medicine and let's start talking about planet energetic grid of universe.
It's the new topic for sure.
Yeah.
It's just moving away from the plants and just kind of getting the empowerment, right?
Yeah, in the next chapter.
The next chat, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Take it easy, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Blessings, love you guys. Thank you.
Peace and love, guys.
Thank you.